of life: choices, chances, and changes. Now, the first thing you need to do is make a choice. That's a decision. You can continue on the path that you are currently on. Now, I'm not saying the path that you are on is currently good or bad. That's your decision. But you see, we're supposed to be growing every single day, learning something new every single day. We're not designed as individuals and as creatures. This simply is that we are supposed to grow. And when we grow, we become more creative. We become more resourceful. We become wiser. We become greater in our experience. Let me tell you a little story about what happened on Easter Sunday to kind of bring about the wonderful provision and the way the Lord works in my life. And I made a choice years ago, of course, to give my life to Him. So on Sunday morning, I'm coming out and I'm going into my automobile. I'm putting, of course, some things that I need to, of course, use when it comes to the church. And I open up the back trunk of my car. I have one of those hatchbacks. And I look inside, and all of a sudden, I have noticed that the toolkit that I had put in the back, because I'm going to be working on my motorcycle today doing some customization. That's something that I love to do. Anyway, I looked inside and that toolkit was gone. And there were some really important long-term tools that I had, irreplaceable tools. Now, this is in a small town, and so I'm really kind of miffled and muffed over the whole situation. And I'm thinking as I'm driving then, I said, Lord, what did this happen? I mean, I go to, I live in a city during the week, and I'm in this little town on the weekend, and this thing happened in a little town. And I'm thinking, that's not supposed to happen. That's supposed to happen in the city. Well, I learned a very valuable lesson. It doesn't matter where you are. You got to lock things up, unfortunately, today. So anyway, I'm brooding about it a little bit. I did the service, did everything like that. And then, of course, last Sunday, I had the privilege of being able to marry a young couple. And it was a wonderful ceremony. We had a wonderful time. And then right after, they walked over and they handed me a gift. And I thought, well, thank you very much. I didn't look inside because, that's not the appropriate thing to do. But I want to tell you something. The beauty of this whole situation is the Lord once again provided. He once again took care of the need. And so yesterday, I went out and I bought a whole brand new toolkit with the money that was provided. And that's how it works. You make a choice. And when you make that choice, whatever that choice is, you know what's going to happen? There are going to be consequences and results. Now, if you choose to do a negative thing, then there are going to be negative consequences. But if you make a positive choice, you make a choice to grow, you make a choice to change. And that's what it's really all about. You make the choice and then you take a chance. I want to tell you something. Anytime that you make a choice, there is the chance and the opportunity that something may go right or something may go wrong. But that is, of course, that choice, that decision. You understand after you've looked at the pros and cons, after you've seen and made that analysis, then you make the choice and then you take the chance. There's a lot of folks out there, for example, that are taking some chances right now with the stock market. One of the things that financial advisors always tell you is keep your money in the stock market long term. There are times where it goes way up and you're finding yourself, you're just thinking it is feast all the time. And then there comes that time of correction, that time of famine. And if you follow the seasons in my area where I happen to live, we have 4 seasons, okay? So right now, it is the season of planting. My son is heading out into the field the next couple of days and he's going to start planting. In fact, over the weekend, I saw people planting and they were out in their fields and doing their thing. They're getting ready for, of course, spring planting. And this is what the spring's all about. My son, for example, they've been doing cattle and lambs. And it's wonderful to see these little lambs bouncing around. That's what springtime is all about. It's about new life. Then we come into, of course, the summer season, which is my favorite season because I get to ride my motorcycle and, enjoy warm weather. I'm a warm weather kind of guy. I don't know why the Lord placed me in a colder climate, but I'm grateful because, it's great to live in Canada. Then also as well, we come into the fall season after the summer season. And that's when the beautiful trees where I live, just absolutely spectacular. And then of course, there's the winter season where all of a sudden everything gets colder and we just came out of that. So basically you need to understand that whenever you make a decision, there's always a choice, there's always a chance, and you have to understand the seasons in which you live and operate as well. You made that decision. You say, okay, I understand that I'm stepping out or I'm pulling back depending on how I view the season. Then he says, if you want anything in life, you got to be able to change. You really do have to change, and you have to be a risk taker. Listen, the three choices in life are choices, chances, and changes. And when you make a choice and take the chance, if you want anything in life, you got to change. That's as simple as that. You can't stay the way that you are. Status quo is not acceptable. You may want to stay the same, but life will not allow that to happen. The people that come into your life, the choices that you make, there are things that happen to us that force us to change. It's as simple as that. And you've got to make that choice. You've got to take the chance, and then you have to change. It's simply said in 2 Peter 3:18, we got to grow in the grace and knowledge of the Lord Jesus Christ. That means that we grow. We grow in grace. We grow in knowledge. We grow in experience. But those are the very things that help us become what we're supposed to become. Don't allow yourself to stay the same. It is boring, but it's great to grow. It's great to change. It's great to learn new things, to react and to flow and to go. That's what it's all about. It was Jeremiah who said, the mercies of God are new every morning. Great is his faithfulness. God's going to be faithful. When you're faithful to him, he will be faithful to you. And also as well, when you make the choice that you're going to change, you don't have any idea what kind of person you're going to grow into. But if you make a choice that you're going to change and you're going to grow and you're going to be a better person, listen, that's what it's all about. There was a movie years ago called, of course, I'm trying to remember, and he says, you got to make a choice. You got to change. You got to change. And that's, be a better person. Be a better person. That's what it's all about. Be the person that you want to be. And remember, a very important part of that is this. Treat others as you'd want to be treated. That's so important. And walk in love and realize that love has a choice. And that choice is to be kind and compassionate. These are my little thoughts for you today. The 3 C's in life, choices, chances, and changes. You got to make a choice to take a chance if you want anything in life to change. That's my thought for you today. I like that. My name is Robert Dean Steele. If you like what you've been hearing and seeing, I always encourage you to press the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel.